Okay, that was Spy Family, Season 1, Episode 17. I feel so bad for Damien.
I think that's going to be a reoccurring theme.
It has to be. I think that it, in its own way, it's a massively important story to make Damien feel appreciated and feel fulfilled. I don't know what it will take for that to realistically happen, because I don't know if I see his dad, like, turning over a new leaf.
It's so interesting because the true mission is to take down Damien's dad, but I feel like Anya, with her ability to read minds and her close proximity to Damien, is going to want, through Damien, for Damien to have what he wants, which is a relationship with his father.
Yeah.
And that goes against truly, like, taking down Damien's father. I don't know what Twilight would have to do, but we do know that there is violence in the show, and in war there is violence. I mean, one of our main characters is literally, like, an assassin.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're not afraid to get
they've
dark.
never said explicitly that they would be killing Damien's father, but that's always what I kind of thought it was. Like, get close to the target and take him down.
I'm thinking maybe try to just get really close for intel's sake. But I don't know, man. We've had no time with the dad, right?
And we're getting kind of two perspectives. We're getting an informant's perspective of him, what the society might think of him, which is the information that Lloyd would have on him, and how he presents himself to the world. And then we get the fact that we don't even like him for what we know, what he's truly really like as an absent father.
Facts. And that's, I don't know. It's interesting because there's nothing to humanize him. So I wonder,
he doesn't even worry about Damien.
I wonder how that's going to end. I kind of wish Damien did go home for break, so we got to have an episode with him and his brother, or at least like half an episode for it.
I like that the butler has nicknames for them. Jeeves.
Yeah.
Also, the butler's name is Jeeves.
I know,
like, how perfect is that?
It was amazing. I wrote that down. I was like,
we have Bond, we have Jeeves, we have so many names that mean something to me.
Henry Henderson, that means something to me.
I mean, honestly, when we realized what Becky's true taste in men was, I mean, I'm kind of like, Henry Henderson's really the most mature out of all of the choices, so it's kind of a big surprise.
I could never have guessed that Becky would end up having a crush on Lloyd. I did.
As soon as she picked up the picture, I was like, no.
Exactly. And
she was talking about love. That whole intro was basically about, like, romance and love, and, you know, don't you think about that, Anya? And Anya's like, no. And I was like, oh, I wonder if Becky has a crush on a classmate. And I could have seen it being, like, rivals in love. Like, what if she actually has a crush on Damien?
Yeah.
Or something like that. But no.
Her
taste is older men. She's watching dramas instead of cartoons as a kid. I get it.
I really thought that Damien was going to pick up the picture and be upset about it from a family aspect. It didn't need to go that route,
when
it
you
did
guessed
later.
That, when you guessed that, I was like, oh yeah, I was like totally on board. It made a lot of sense to me that he wouldn't look at the picture and be focusing on the dog. I mean, how many times did they show us that picture of him alone in the class photo without his parents?
Yeah. Becky has a bomb in her hair.
I thought it was a guitar.
It could be a guitar. I don't know. It kind of looks like that, like, cartoonish bomb with, like, the string and, you know, it's ignited. But whatever it is, very cool. I love Becky, and I love Anya's impressions of her.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite things about this show.
So we get Damien's perspective of people, which is, especially when it's Anya, very enjoyable. And then Anya's impersonations and perspective of people are hilarious.
Yeah.
Her internal monologue is so funny.
I think that a lot of this show has to rely on voice acting and it being good, and they always deliver.
The voice actress, especially that does Anya, deserves awards.
Oh, who did she also voice?
Kurata, right? Kurata and Mob Psycho?
I think so.
And I there's some other characters that I can't call upon at the moment that I believe are also the same voice actress.
God, I feel like every episode we see the handler, I'm trying to convince myself that they're not gonna go the mom route.
Like that she's the real mom?
Yeah. Like I'm like looking at I wrote down Sylvia Sherwood blue necklace because I don't know. I like caught my eye, and I was like just to like have it notes, you know. And then like I'm looking at her eyes, and then like I go back to look at like close-ups of how Anya looks, and I'm like, I don't know. I hope that that's not where we're gonna go, but I did think.
I mean, Anya grew up at least as an infant knowing her mother, right? She doesn't have any memories to call upon, but it seems like we were given the vibe that she at least was held by her mother before.
If I'm honest, I am not too confident. We definitely had a little bit of interaction there, like from her point of view early on. But I don't know. I guess I'm just my question. We're only 17 episodes in. For some reason, it feels like we're like 3 seasons in for me.
I mean, this does feel like season 2. Even though it's technically season 1, the second half.
Yeah, but like when you're watching a show or reading a story, you're given a set of pieces, and with those sets of pieces that you're given, you try to figure out how they connect to one another and how they're going to play out. There aren't many routes that I expect them to take the handler. One of them potentially is her being an antagonist to Lloyd, and I think that would probably be my first jump in what direction they could go in. I
think there's evidence for that in her reaction to what he's saying at the very end. Because he calls her, we get the nickname Full Metal Lady. She is a badass. She is strong. She is dedicated to this job, and she is basically fearless. And I don't think it is in her hopes and dreams that Lloyd... Like, we might want for Lloyd that he gets attached to Yor and Anya and he wants to keep this family. She does not hope for that.
No.
And honestly, her reaction to Lloyd saying this, and she was like, why is he talking about this? Brought me back to what I think is, like, I guess my headcanon of, like, the handler's past, which is, like, the child and, like, losing a child, losing a husband, and... So there's that dynamic there between, I feel like that's an interesting dynamic to have in the mix with like her being the direct dialogue with Twilight in this mission involving him coming up with a fake family. Yeah. So to me, that gives room for her to either be at the beginning antagonistic if he's, you know, not up to par because he's getting too focused on his family. But I could also see it being like the snow warmed over. She realizes that he's built this family that he loves, and she wants to give him that and help him keep that and keep it safe. Or
be like, I've been there. I know there's no way you can do it, so you shouldn't try.
Or if we don't have one of our top agents, Twilight, the war will happen and your family could get hurt.
And you know what I would respond if I was Twilight? I'd say, well, that's a lot of talk coming from somebody who forgot to take a tag off their fucking jacket, bitch. I love.
But he would never say that.
I love this show so much, dude. It's such like I don't know. It's not. How would you describe it? It's not like necessarily slice of life, right? It's like a little slice of life, little thriller, little mystery.
It's the weirdest hot pot dinner
comedy.
Everyone brought an ingredient. This is like Stardew Valley, and we're all going to a festival, and we can bring one ingredient and put it in the pot, and you better bring a good one, or everyone's gonna hate you.
Yep.
Like it feels like this is just like all of these different genres like mixed into one. Like Yor and Lloyd could just be its own romance anime.
Yeah.
And then Anya, Lloyd, and Yor could just be their own slice of life. But they all come with this extra added element that brings action and suspense and thriller into it.
Yep. God, the whole like dying griffin baby. I was like, oh my god, dude.
Yep, that's what it was. Dead griffin baby.
I'm liking the show though. I'm interested to see where they go. I wonder how long the manga is. Like, I'm trying to think of what to expect.
When I've seen it on shelves at stores, it seems to be like, maybe like, I don't know.
2 seasons probably, at least?
Depends.
Yeah.
On the pacing. If they like speed past some things and don't show us some things from the manga.
Yeah. Alright, well, I like that episode. You?
I'm just insanely excited for this. I mean, as a romance lover, I'm insanely excited for the one thing that we didn't talk about in this discussion so far, and that is the fact that Becky now thinks Anya has a crush on Damien.
Oh my god, you're so right.
The hijinks that are going to unfold from this, that Becky is going to matchmaker, helpful energy,
and Anya's gonna know. Anya's gonna read Becky's mind and be like, she thinks that I have a crush on the second son, but I can't tell her that I know.
Right, and she can't stop trying to be close to the second son because that's her mission. So she's gonna be like, I guess Becky's just gonna think that I'm in love with him.
Or I have to prove her wrong while still
getting him to like me.
Becky's a great character. We also got her dad was like, or her family was developing a battle suit. And I was wondering if that was ever gonna come around.
Twilight in a battle suit.
Or Twilight facing a guy in a battle suit.
Because exactly.
Yeah.
Oh no. Also, like, we got the other thing that's like brings it back to the slice of life when everything's so dramatic with the war is the fact that Becky and Anya were chasing each other around like true happy best friend children in school, and they were said like, these are are they kindergartners?
They're young.
I believe they're kindergartners. And it was like, oh, look at their first art projects. And I'm like, oh my gosh. My mom used to be a preschool teacher, and I would help hang up things for the art shows. And it's so cute.
It brings you back down to earth when they're running around. And I'm like, oh, I hope Henry doesn't yell at them. And he's just kind of like, you two stop running around. I'm like, they are kids.
It reminds you how much. That's what I love, is that like it brings it back. It reminds you the age that Anya is. And it's so cute and sweet. I think it's done so well.
All right, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. Like, caught my eye, and I was like, caught my eye, and I was